Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. All right, let's clap it up. Hey, shalom. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Elatah by Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. I am Priest and Officer 50 Darah Shema. I'll be opening for Priest and Officer 500, Officer Ayathan. We are the I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the leadership and guidance of Commanding General YAHANNA. And our duty is to teach the Blacks, the Hispanics, and the so-called Native Indians who they are according to this Bible and the truth of the Bible. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. And this is the home of the truth. And the time that we're living in today, we're living in the actual last days. Christ is soon to return soon. If people have not looked around what was going on in the world, a lot of our people are dying. We have to understand the reasons why our people are dying at an alarming rate, at the rate that they are, and what can we do about it, knowing that. We're going to use the Bible today to figure out what should we be doing as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Being in the I.S.U.P.K, we have a job to teach our people and to make sure that they understand why this stuff is going on and what their responsibility is. The Christian church has failed our people in telling them and preparing them for what's coming to this earth. So what are we supposed to do as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? We're going to learn about God's laws. What the Most High God told us about God's laws. Should we keep the God's laws or should we not keep God's laws? What does the Christian church teach you today? That you don't have to keep any of the Most High God's laws. Well, according to this Bible, if you decide that you do not want to keep God's laws, then there's consequences for that. So with that being said, we're going to start in the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. Actually, Salakia, let me not get ahead of myself. Let's start in the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. I want to lead off with that verse first, so we all can understand where we're going first, and what's the whole point of us understanding what the Most High God said about His law and also what Christ said. So, at the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Because if we don't understand this particular verse, then we're not going to understand anything what it means to understand God's laws or break His laws.
Book of John.
1 John. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4.
Book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Right. So whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Now, we're going to learn in a few minutes when we finish reading the verse what sin is. But what does it mean to transgress something? What does it mean when you hear the word transgress? What comes to mind? A violation. You are violating something. So when it says, whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, what law? The Most High God's law.
Yes, sir.
The Most High God's law that He always has had since the beginning of time. So whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also violates the law. And then when we read on, what does it say?
For sin is the transgression of the law.
Right. So it says, for sin is the transgression of the law. So we know that now when you sin, you are transgressing the law of the Most High. So whoever committed sin, if you're doing sin in the world, we're going to learn, of course, what's a little bit more about those things when it comes to sin and how you actually are transgressing the law against the Most High. So I'll read that again. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, that is in your New Testament. You can show these scriptures to your Christian pastor. You can go over them yourself. They probably never even taught you what sin is, because according to the Christian church, sin is okay. Sin is all right to do. they're not even telling you that this will get you in trouble with the Most High God. So whosoever committed a sin transgresseth also the law, then that means you are sinning. You are transgressing the law of the Most High. Now that we understand what sin is, let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. And this is coming out of the New Testament, and this is coming out of Christ's mouth. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Right. Christ said, think not. And when you hear the word think not, or the phrase think not, what does that mean? It means don't think. Don't even put it in your mind. Don't even consider it. Don't even think it that I come to destroy what? That I come to destroy?
The law.
That he come to destroy the law. Christ told you that don't even put it in your mind that he come to destroy the law. And what law is that again? What we're talking about? We're talking about the laws of the Most High. Remember, Christ did what his Father told him to do. He had a purpose. Read on.
Or the prophets.
Or the prophets. Every single person in this book prior to Christ's coming, they are prophets in this Bible. They are the ones who were prophesying of Christ's coming. They're all prophets. What do prophets do? They prophesy for things to come, a gift that the Most High God has given them. So he told Christ out of Christ's mouth, don't even think it. He's not coming to change the law, not even anything that the prophets have said prior before him. Read on.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right. Christ did not come to destroy the law, but he came to fulfill. Now, what did he come to fulfill? He came to fulfill what he was written about in the Old Testament. Remember, he was already being talked about and spoke about in the Old Testament. Unless you read the Old Testament, you ain't going to get that information in regards to Christ's so-called coming. But what does the Christian church do? They just immediately disregard the whole Old Testament. But the Old Testament coincides with the New Testament. And you can't have the New Testament without the Old Testament. They both coincide with each other. So when Christ said he was coming to fulfill, Christ is coming to fulfill what he was written about in the Old Testament, right? He did not come to destroy the law. He did not come to destroy anything that the prophets said prior, but he came to fulfill what he was written about. And what was that particular part he was coming to fulfill? Well, you got to remember, what did the Most High God do to the children of Israel back then, after he led them out the land of Egypt? The Most High God had redeemed the children of Israel, Israel, out of bondage. And then what did they do? Right after that, they started being disobedient again. So the Most High had to turn his back on his children. He still loves us, but he still had to punish us. So we have, over time, lost our identity. So we had to have the ultimate sacrifice to redeem our people back to the Most High. So he will want to deal with us again. That's why Christ had to come, to fulfill what he was prophesied to do in the Old Testament. Let's make that clear. Also, if you need a precept of that, go look at the book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 44. What I just spoke about, you can read it in your Bible. That's coming out of the New Testament. Churches don't follow the Old Testament. Why? Why do you think churches or the actual Christian church today don't follow the Old Testament? Because it has all the laws. It has all the expected things that you're supposed to do. And if you tell somebody that they can't do something or they shouldn't be doing something, what usually happens? 9 times out of 10, they usually get offended. You can't tell me I can't eat pork. You can't tell me I can't smoke that weed. You can't tell me that I can't, hang out late night, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. The Most High God has laws. He has restrictions. And I understand that, because I got some videos to show. If I can get to it, you can show the Most High God has certain rules and regulations. And if you step outside those rules and regulations, sometimes he may have mercy on you. And sometimes you might have to find out the hard way. Like Officer Zion has said, sometimes you might going to end up and find out. So if you want to figure out what the Most High God has for you on the other side, then be disobedient to his rules. What we're doing is trying to protect our people so they can stop dying for no apparent reason. If no one tells you what's causing the issue, how is the issue going to be fixed? If no one tells you that the Most High God is the one who's putting these curses on you, if no one tells you that you're breaking his laws and you're making him angry, this is the reason your grandmama got breast cancer. This is the reason mama has to get her leg cut off, because the Lord is allowing this stuff to happen. He can keep you alive, but he may choose to just end your life because you just don't want to follow anything he says. That's why it's important. We can read on to Matthew chapter 5 and 18. Let's read on, because this is where Christians, they'll see that word fulfill in Matthew 17, 5 and 17, and they just stop. But they don't read on. Let's read on and see what it says.
Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Right. It says, for verily, meaning certainly, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. Has heaven and earth passed yet? Are we? I'm still sitting here on this earth. Has heaven and earth passed yet? It has not. So if this physical earth is still here, this physical earth that we all live on is still here. It says not one jot or one tittle. Now, not one jot or one tittle, what does that mean? It means the smallest little thing that you can think of, like the dotting of an I or crossing of a T. That little small little dot on that I, that little crossing of the T, that's just a small little character on a letter. And that's what Christ is saying. That little small thing, that such small thing, not even that should be taken away from the law. So when it says no wise, that means not at all. Salaki, Officer Zion.
Salaki, when you say that, I'm thinking of like a recipe. For some strange reason, I just thought of like one of my favorite desserts is the red velvet cake, right?
Right.
And my aunt, she make one of the coolest red velvet cakes you could ever taste in your life. But I've always been curious about the recipe, right? How does she do this? How does she repeat this? How does she keep coming up with the same dessert and it tastes the same no matter what time of year or what time of day she make it? And I'm reminded of there's a recipe that she goes by, a dash of this here, or cinnamon here, or nutmeg here, or you know what I'm saying? And it makes all the difference. So I think about that. I'm relating that back to the scriptures. If you leave something out, you're messing up the recipe. The results are not, they're going to vary. You understand? But if you go by the law, statutes, and commandments, you follow the recipe for success according to what the Most High has laid out for us. Bro, you can't go wrong with that. Right. That recipe for success is going to be the same over the years and years and years. And sometimes, sometimes you may have to go a little further to get the products to go, the ingredients to go in the cake.
Right.
Sometimes you may have to go and talk to some, you may have to borrow some supplies, some ingredients to go in the cake. Nevertheless, if you want that cake to taste the same, you have to put the same ingredients into it every single time, man. Right. You can't leave out one jot or one tittle in the recipe. Right. Because if you do that, guess what? The recipe is the results going to vary. Is that what you want is not going to yield the same. You understand? Right. And that's I'm truly humbled by knowing what the Most High wants in this life. And sometimes it don't always feel good. You understand?
Right.
But if we want the same results, then we got to put the same ingredients into it.
Follow that recipe.
You understand? We got to follow the recipe.
Come on,
You
God.
can't leave one jot or one tittle a lot of it, man. Most High Christ.
Right. Good comparison. And with that being said, right? So Christ is telling you, not one jot, one tittle, pass from the law. Nothing passes from the law. Long as earth is still here, long as this earthly heaven is here, you can look up at the sky. Till all of that is fulfilled, the law still remains. The law is always going to still be here. And when we read other verses in the Bible, you're going to realize that the Most High is not dealing, he's never going to get rid of the earth. The earth is going to be here. He's going to destroy what's on the earth, but he's not getting rid of the earth. Read on, verse 19.
Verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, pause. So whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, that means the least of the commandments, the smallest little commandment, hey, don't eat pork. The Most High commands us that swine is an abomination. That's one of the smallest commandments. Whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, and you're teaching men so. You're teaching men to do these. Now, who do we know teach men that it's okay to break God's commandments? You don't have to follow any laws. Because this verse right here is going to lead up to the next couple of videos I'm getting ready to show you. So who do we know today that's telling you that you don't have to keep any laws? There's no laws that you have to follow. Well, we know these Christian pastors, they definitely tell you that you don't have to keep any law. Their whole congregation are learning from them. These Christians are learning and teaching other people that you don't have to keep any of God's laws. Well, if you don't have to keep any of God's laws, then that means murder is okay. That means killing is okay. Robbery, thieving, adultery, every evil thing that you can think of is okay if the law does not exist. But according to this Bible, that's not what Christ said. So whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and you're teaching men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Now we know that this new kingdom that's supposed to be coming or arriving, where is that kingdom going to be? We know in the UPK where the kingdom is going to be, but what is the Christian church? Do you think you're going to be up in the sky with the Most High? The kingdom of heaven is going to be here on this earth. But when these nations and all these people that we're serving right now, who are telling us not to keep the commandments, they're not going to be in the kingdom with the Israelites. They're going to be on the outside. But all these pastors who are supposed to be in charge, telling our people that they don't have to keep none, guess what they're going to be called? The least in the kingdom. They're going to be called the bottom in the kingdom. But let's read on. Matthew 5:19.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. So whoever shall do, so Christ is telling you, whoever shall do them and teach them, meaning you're teaching people to keep the laws, the statutes, the commandments of the Most High God. You're telling them to keep the commandments. With I.S.U.P.K, we're teaching people to keep the commandments. We're teaching people that they should follow what the Most High God says.
Right.
So what do you think we're going to be called in the kingdom? According to this verse, we're going to be called great in the kingdom. I think that's a good reward, don't you think? According to the Most High God. So understanding that the Most High God has laws, statutes, and commandments, and we have laws to follow, let's find out what happens when you decide to do things outside of the Most High God rule.
So like a Daraj, you talking about I think that's an excellent thing, brother. Because I was reading a story like not too long ago that was like some poor people who found a bag full of money.
Right.
I think like $250,000, and they turned it in and they gave them like a free dinner or something somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Just for doing the right thing.
Yeah, just for doing the right thing. But the Most High said, you're gonna get a crown, man. You're gonna be one that's governing the people, man.
Right.
So what the Most High reward is gonna pay off in the end. You gotta fight through it. You gotta do it. You gotta learn how to change your life. Seek out the truth about what we're supposed to do so you can get that reward.
Right.
And you know, in Esau kingdom, you just get a pat on the back for being good. And
Exactly.
there is no good in him because all his thing, he deceiving us anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot.
Khan, the water. Get my hand. Right. Now, with that being said, from what Christ said, we have rules and guidelines to follow. Now, I'm going to give you an example with this video. What happens when you don't listen to the Most High God's laws? As I stated, you know, the Lord give us mercy sometimes. He knows we're human, we're going to mess up, but there are certain things that he may not be so lenient on. You will find out the hard way. Now, this next video I'm going to show, let me just set the disclaimer. This is not in any way telling people that this is okay to do. So I'm going to make that disclaimer first. I sent it in the 9010 email. That's not it. It should be Darash right there. Right. So this video, next video I'm going to show, it's the first one. Just pause it first before it plays. Yeah, this video I'm getting ready to show it's going to show you what happens when you decide to do things outside of the Most High God. So when you go into the Old Testament, that's where we already got the laws, the statutes, the commandments, all the do's, all the don'ts. So this, what you'll see right here, you can show it, but just not play it just yet until I explain to them what's going on. So what you're going to see here is you got a couple of Edomites, and I think there's a sister in there as well. She is hanging around these Edomites. Now, if you read in the Bible where it talks about that you should not mess with the witch, you should not deal with anyone that's a necromancer, anything that's dealing with familiar spirits, anything that's dealing with the outside world or outer world, you're not supposed to mess with. If you do, then there's consequences for it. Right. Those are some of the laws and standards that God have. If you guys have ever heard of white folks or anyone, you know, saying that they've seen paranormal activity in their homes, right. I've never had to deal with that personally because I never dealt with that stuff. But I've heard people who have had those stories, and I don't ever want to see it. But this is what happens if you decide to do that. Anybody ever been to Toys R Us and they seen the little game, the Ouija board in there? Now, I've known some people who have played with it. I personally have never played with it. But if you decide one day that you want to take that in your home and play with it, just understand you're opening up doorways and you're opening up spiritual gateways to let certain evil spirits in your home. The Most High God already told you not to deal with that stuff anyway. So he's already giving you a parameter to not mess with these things. So understand, when you do that, here's a consequence. So again, this isn't to promote anything demonic or to get you to do this. This is just showing you what not to do. So let's make that disclaimer again. Officer Quidam, if you can. Fair use. Yeah, you got it.
Are you okay? I thought, oh my God!
Now I want you guys to just take a look real quick. I want you to look and see what happened when they were messing with this. Now, if you look, I got it.
Are you okay?
Do you see what happened to her face? What do you think just happened? Something that you cannot see spiritually entered her. Something spiritually happened to her. And why did that happen? She's messing with things that the Most High God said not to mess with. So, with that happening, let's finish watching what goes on.
Oh my God! Are you okay? Oh my God, you guys! Okay, like a little bird. Bethard. How do you read it going last name? Bethard. Are you okay?
These white people are scared to death. These are Edomites. These are Edomites playing with the Ouija board. Now, there's a sister right there, and look what she's doing.
Come here, guys. Come on. Bethard. Oh my God.
He's trying to comfort the Edomite for her doing that. So when our people decide to follow what the Edomites do, our so-called oppressor, the white man, this is what you're going to experience. God already told you not to deal with these types of things. That's why he gives us laws. He gives us statutes. He gives us commandments. So he can protect you from outside things that you shouldn't deal with. That girl in that particular video, actually everybody that's in there are lucky that that's the only thing that he allowed to happen. But you see that they are scared out their mind. They don't know what to do.
Sorry. Do you need water? You want some water? Guys, can you get some water, please? Are you okay?
Let that sit in. Y'all still think that the Most High God didn't give us laws, or we don't have to keep any laws? Well, I think that the Most High God gave us laws for a reason. Let's look at the next video. Now, before we play this is a funny one. The first one's a little bit serious. I want to make this one a little bit funnier so we can kind of laugh, because I know that one probably scared a couple of people. But this one right here, just kind of need to understand, the Most High God says we shouldn't be messing with another man's wife. We shouldn't be dealing with, or a woman shouldn't be dealing with, another man's wife, and vice versa. So understand that the Most High God has gave us rules to follow. So when it comes to adultery, let's look at what this guy gets caught doing. Now, these been out for, I think the previous video has been out for about 17 years, so you can't say that's been AI. So in this particular video right here, it's a man who supposedly had got caught cheating. The lover makes supposedly an escape when the husband comes home. That looks like the Latino community, right? For what it looks like the Latino community. So this looks like the Latino community that might be going on right now. But the whole point is that you should not be doing this type of thing. These are laws. Most of our guys told us not to. Look, he's trying to escape out. I don't know about you, but that's embarrassing. Would he have had to go through that if he just did what the Most High God said? That's the thing that some of our people kind of need to understand. That's why the Most High God gave us laws. He gave us statutes. He gave us commandments. So that way, you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, that you don't have to go through these things. It'll help save your life. It'll help save your life. It'll help you prevent you from going through things that you don't have to go through. Let's get the book of 1 John chapter 2, starting at verse 3. The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3.
Check. The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
Right. And this is how you know that you know the Most High God. Why? Because you're keeping his commandments. So like we swab.
Go ahead.
And hereby we do know him that if we keep his commandments. So this is how you know that you love the Most High. This is how you know if you know the Most High God. How? By doing what he says to do. By doing what he told you to do. By not being that guy that was out there on that ledge trying to hop out that window knowing he was doing something wrong. Right? You wouldn't have to do that if you were just doing what the Most High God tells you to do. He lucky that's all that happened to him. Read on, verse 4.
The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar.
Right. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar. So who do we know in the earth that's saying that they know the Most High? They know God. It's a phrase that they say all the time. I know the Most High.
So, like, if I may, the Christian pastors, man, primarily starting with them, and then you think about everyone that goes to church, they sitting there and they praying over pork. Big Mama just put a honey baked ham in the oven for Thanksgiving, and everybody's got to hold hands and touch an agreement and ask the Lord to bless this swine that the Lord said was unlawful for us to eat. It was an abomination for us to eat it, let alone touch it.
Right.
If we knew about the law, we didn't keep the law simply because the Christian pastor said there was no point in keeping the law. There's no benefit to keeping the law. But keeping the God's law, statutes, and commandments, that's everything. That's our identity. That's our culture. That's our protection. That's our safety.
That's right. So that's how you know if you know the Most High God or not, by keeping his commandments, by doing what he says. And based on what we read earlier in the other verses, Christ never done away with the law. Christ stood by the Most High God's laws, just like he wants us to follow him. And if you say that you're a follower of Christ, then we need to do what the Most High God told Christ to do, to keep his commandments, and just like Christ telling us to do, to keep his commandments. So we're following in the footsteps of Christ. Okay. Yes, sir. Finish verse 5.
Salakia. The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Verse 5. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him.
Right. And that's how you know that you are in him, or in God and in Christ. Because you're keeping the word. You're keeping the love of God perfected. You're keeping his commandments. And love is correction. And you learn that love is correction here in the UPK. So to sum this up, we're supposed to keep the Most High God's commandments. That's my time. I'm going to bring up Priest and Officer 500 Ayathan.
Sign Christ. Get that piece of strong hand, man. You did a good job. Shalom with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm the commander, YAHANNA. And tonight we're going to talk about how to spot the truth. You know what I'm saying? According to the Bible, you know, due to religion, all these fake Israelite groups, you know what I'm saying? Everybody claiming that they got the truth, you know what I'm saying? But nobody actually shows the truth or like follows the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Everybody always saying they got the truth, you know what I'm saying? Everybody take their perception, you know what I'm saying, of what they think is the truth and try to make that perception into fact. And once you try to make your perception into fact, you know what I'm saying, it becomes your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And God don't want your opinions. You know what I'm saying? He don't want your perception. He wants your obedience. You know what I'm saying? And so tonight we're going to go into how you identify the truth or how you spot the truth. You know what I'm saying? And how do you know when you're in the truth? Let me get the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and 1. Come on, brother. Zephaniah 2 and 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Right.
Yea,
Good.
gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. The Bible told us to gather ourselves together. You understand? It's only one place that you can, you know, come together and actually be together, and that's in here in I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? There's nowhere else that you can try to gather together and end up staying together. You know what I'm saying? It's no other organization, you understand, that you can go into where you're going to stay together. You know what I'm saying? Christians hate each other. I.U.I.C. members hate each other. You know what I'm saying? The first sign of anything that goes wrong, they falling out. You understand? The I.U.I.C. loves money. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got a $1,500 Passover. They love money. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a job. They have to know what your schedule is. They want to know when you're going to work. You leave that job, you get kicked out the I.U.I.C. You know what I'm saying? And here, the I.S.U.P.K, we don't ask you if you got a job when you come through the doors because we love our people. You know what I'm saying? So drop that. Let me get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 9. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think that they had a truth, but nobody has the truth except the I.S.U.P.K. Christian pastors will sit there and tell you that they know the Bible, but they don't follow the Bible. You understand? They don't know the Bible. No fake Israelite group knows the Bible. You know, one thing that I never heard a fake Israelite group say? You understand? I never heard a fake Israelite group say that the I.S.U.P.K doesn't have the truth. Never heard them say that. You understand? Do you know what they say? They say, we got the truth too. You know what I'm saying? But they have never said that I.S.U.P.K doesn't have the truth. The I.S.U.P.K never said that we had the truth. We never said that we had the truth. You understand? You know who said that the I.S.U.P.K has the truth? The people that come through the doors. The people that come through the doors say this is the truth. Y'all say that we got the truth. We say that we the home of the truth. We know we got it. We don't need to say that we got it. We know it. You leave and you say that we got the truth too. You never say I.S.U.P.K doesn't have the truth. You understand? Read that, brother, once you got it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
The Bible says the heart is deceitful above all things. You understand? Your mind is deceitful above all things. Whatever you make up in your mind, you understand? If you keep telling yourself that thing over and over and over again, you're gonna start to believe that it's true. The more the fake Israelite groups claim they got the truth, they're gonna start believing it. They claim that they can sleep with the oppressor. You understand? They claim that raping is lawful. You understand? After a child turned 12, you understand? They claim that they can smoke weed, and that you're gonna be free when Christ come back. You understand? You sit there and keep making all these things up in your mind, you're going to start to believe it. And what are you going to do? You're going to go out and try to teach other people to believe it. You understand? The Bible says that the heart is deceitful above all things. Go ahead.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
And desperately wicked. You understand? Read on.
Who can know it?
You can't trust somebody that believes in their mind that everything they do is right. You don't know what that person gonna do. You understand? Because you never know what the hell they think is right. You don't know what they're gonna do to you. You don't know what they'll do to somebody else. You understand? Right. Joy Morgan thought that she was in the truth and was unalived because of the deceit of a self-proclaimed Bishop Nathaniel. He thought in his mind that he had the truth. And that sister was unalived. You understand? Whereas if she would have heard this breakdown of how to find the truth or how to identify the truth, she could have still been alive today. Drop that, brother. Let me get 2 Corinthians 10 and 17. That sister could have been alive, man. You understand? Everybody always claiming to have the truth, but nobody has the truth except the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand? And you could tell by the way that the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K carry themselves. You could tell we had the truth by the way we carry ourselves, by our actions. We not in here just claiming to have the truth. You got that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 17. But he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord.
10 and 18. 2 Corinthians 10 and 18.
For not he that commendeth himself is approved.
Right. Who the hell poured oil on your head? What man above you poured oil on your head and told you that you was a general? Or told you that you was a priest over God's people? Who ordained you? Who named you? You understand? Who did you learn from? There's no way you can have the truth. There's no way a Christian pastor could have the truth. You understand? You said yourself that you have it. And the Bible says what?
For not he that commendeth himself is approved, but whom the Lord commendeth.
Right. You understand? Last time I checked, Commander YAHANNA was the only man authorized to give to ordain priests. You understand? Last I checked. Who told Bishop Nathaniel that he was the bishop over Israel? Who told T.D. Jakes that he was a priest over Israel? Nobody. And you know why? You know why that you have to be commanded by God? Because the way that it works is God has a process. You understand? God puts you through something. You have to go through something to become a priest of Israel. You understand? When brothers come in this school, you sit down, you wear all black, you shed yourselves of the world, you told to be quiet, you learn the breakdowns, you told you're not authorized to teach. Even if you in the school sitting down, you told that you're not authorized to teach. And then a man above you one day will come to you and be like, you know what? You've been quiet long enough. I think it's time for you to talk now. And they give you an officer's test. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that the Most High does things. You understand? You decided that, okay, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my own way. You're an evil and wicked bastard, man. You're evil and wicked, man. You don't want to follow the things that the Lord has laid out. Right. You want to do it your own way. You understand? The Bible said what again, Darash?
For not he that commendeth himself is approved.
You're not approved, man. You trying to raise yourself up. You're not approved to be a priest over the Most High's nation. You're not. So you will never have the truth. Yeah, you get a lot of numbers in. You get a lot of people that come in. You understand? But that's just because you allow them to still be Christians. You don't make them change. They're not going through anything. You understand? The Lord said that you are not approved. You understand? You have to be approved by who? The Most High. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm a priest." You just wake up today and feel like I'm a general. I'm a 12-shield general over the nation of Israel. You can't just wake up and feel like that, and then just decide to walk out and try to tell everybody to follow you. That's how people are led astray. That's how people are harmed. That ruins the nation, and it taints the image of the truth. You understand? It's like I was saying, everybody in the Israelite world had once agreed when they came into the I.S.U.P.K that the I.S.U.P.K was the home of the truth.
Right.
Everybody did. So guess what? When you left the truth, you understand the truth didn't follow you. The truth didn't change just because you left. The truth ain't just follow you to wherever you went to, you evil, selfish bastard. It didn't follow you when you left. It stayed. You said that you didn't want to be a part of the truth when you left. The truth stayed. The truth didn't change. You understand? Just because you didn't like what it said or what it meant or how it was written, the truth didn't change because you didn't like it. The truth is still here. You decided that you didn't want to be with the Most High. You decided that you was going to put your faith in you and in America when you left the truth. Drop that. Let me get Matthew 12:30. You understand? The truth didn't change just because you left or just because you didn't like something. It didn't follow you when you decided to put fringes on the bottom of your purple t-shirt. When you decide you want to roll up and fire up. You understand? The truth don't change because you don't like it. The truth is not meant for you to be liked. Who likes the truth? Nobody likes to hear the truth. The truth pisses people off. It's supposed to sound different than everything else. It's supposed to look different than everything else. Do you know how you know that you're in the truth? When you start feeling like, God damn, man. When you start feeling, man, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But you have to do it because God is telling you to do it. Then you know that you find the truth. You think anybody want to wake up on a Saturday and go out to camp in 40-degree weather? What nigga don't want to smoke weed? But not do it because of the truth. The truth said not to do it, so you stop doing it. The truth said go and bring the Most High's people back. So guess what you do? You strap up your boots on Saturday. Whatever time the man above you tell you to get up and come down here so that we can head out, you do it. Because it's required. You got that, brother? Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 30. He that is not with me.
Who is that speaking?
That's YAHWH.
You understand? Christ said that he who is not with me, you understand? Go ahead.
Is against me.
Is what?
He that is not with me is against me.
Now what we say in the I.S.U.P.K. You're not in the truth, man. You're not in here, you're not in the truth, man. Christ said, if you're not with me, you're against me. You understand? So hell no, we not brothers. We not. Yeah, we may be brothers in the flesh, but you're not in here. You're an enemy of the I.S.U.P.K. You're an enemy of God. You're not in here. I can't trust you. I don't know what the hell you're doing when you leave out your school. I can't come and stand over you and be like, hey, you know, you ain't supposed to smoke them cigarettes now. You put them cigarettes down. I can't trust you. You're not in here. Read on.
And he that gathereth not with me.
He that do what?
And he that gathereth not with me
Go ahead.
scattereth abroad.
You see what I'm saying? If you in the Christian church calling yourself a pastor or a priest, you in I.U.I.C. or any other fake Israelite group calling yourself a deacon or general with them goofy ass African names, Salakia, you understand? You scattering the truth, man. You scattering the people, man. You are part of the problem. You're a reason that we have such a hard problem trying to fix the nation, because goofies like you decide to destroy the truth. Don't make imagine somebody fighting tooth and nail, you understand, trying to find the truth, leaving the Christian church, and they stumble into the I.U.I.C. And they pretend that they love you, they care about you, you understand? They're gonna say, don't talk to them over there. Them over there aggressive. They too aggressive. Yeah, they too ghetto. You understand? And then you hear about what happened to Joy Morgan, and you decide, well, I.U.I.C. ain't for me. Or your child get touched, or your son get touched, because that's what they do over there. They want the little boys. You understand? Your child get touched, and then you end up leaving the I.U.I.C. or you get into something and end up getting kicked out the I.U.I.C. Now you ain't gonna trust no Israelite group. The I.U.I.C. destroys the truth. Fake Israelite groups destroy the truth, because you try to say that you have the truth when you know damn well you don't. You play and dress up. You want to be like I.S.U.P.K, but you don't want to be a part of I.S.U.P.K. You understand? You don't want to stand with Christ. It don't sound nice all the time, you understand? But it's the truth. You understand? And fake Israelite groups don't have it. But you know what? We need fake Israelite groups, because fake Israelite groups help us prove that we are the home of the truth. You understand? In order for us to show that we have the home of the truth, we have to go up against somebody. It's just like the Lakers can't call themselves the best NBA team on earth if they don't go and compete against somebody. Fake Israelite groups allow us to show the earth that we are the home of the truth. You know another way that you know we the home of the truth? When that thing happened with all them the Jewish people, you understand? And them news reporters was looking for somebody to talk to. They didn't go to fucking they didn't go to I.U.I.C. They came and sat down with who? Command Junior YAHANNA. Because our oppressor even knows who has the truth. Right. Our oppressors know who leads the nation. Why did they not go over there? Because they already in your back pocket. They got you in their back pocket. So they already know what's going on over there. They don't need to ask you. You're nothing. They infiltrated you. They want to come and see what's going on at I.S.U.P.K. Why haven't they fallen? The Black Panthers fell. Every other black group has sold out. The I.S.U.P.K. can't fail. We won't fail, because we won't sell out. They send brothers and sisters to infiltrate the I.S.U.P.K. They end up being a part of the I.S.U.P.K. Because this is the truth, man. You understand? Drop that. Actually, drop down to verse 46. Salaki.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without.
Now, Christ was at camp, man. You understand? And he teaching, right? And if you ever been to camp, you know, or ever seen the camp, you know how camp is set up. Brother on the podium teaching, and you got brothers around, you know, standing on shamar, and then you got the camp leaders standing behind the podium, you know what I'm saying, also looking out into the crowd, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And so right here, Christ teaching, right? And at this point, when the camp leader like, hey, you got your mama and your brother standing over there. You understand? If you done been to camp, you'll understand what I'm saying. When you up there on the podium, a brother behind you tap you on the leg or something like that, be like, hey, shake this, or say this, or do this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him, Behold,
So like it read verse 46.
come on. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Right. They was outside the camp and they wanted to speak to him. You understand? Christ was one West. Let me just tell you that. He wasn't a Christian. He wasn't a Christian. You understand? A Christian would have heard that. He would be like, well, hang on, y'all. I got to go talk to my mother. You know, you only get one mom. He would have got off the podium. He wouldn't have broke down his topic because he didn't want to offend his mother. You understand? Read on.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without.
Right. They're like, hey, man, they still out here. Go ahead.
Desiring to speak with thee.
And they still want to talk to you. Go ahead.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him,
Christ said, all right, check this. Go ahead.
But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother?
Right. He said, who is my mother? Go ahead.
And who are my brethren?
And who are my brethren? You understand? Yes, he knew that was his physical mother and his brother. You understand? But let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Right. You understand? Christ stretched forth his hand to the brothers in the camp. Like, hey, these are my brothers. You understand? You come in here, you get plenty of mothers. You get plenty of sisters that's gonna do what? Fill them positions, them roles. They may not be your physical mother, but they're gonna look after you like they're your mother. You understand? Brothers in here gonna look after you like they fathers. You're gonna get plenty of brothers, plenty of fathers, plenty of mothers, sisters. You understand? When you come into the truth. Go ahead.
And he stretched forth, Salakia, verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Right. You understand? Like, how you think Mary felt about that? How you think that made Mary feel? I guarantee you, if she wasn't in the school, you understand, she felt some type of way about that. She would have to feel some type of way about that. Like, what them Christian women say? What they say, Quidon? What them Christian women? This Negro here. Yeah, like he don't see me. Right, he done lost his mind. Yes. Right. No, I raised him better than that. Oh, that's the one right there. Blood is thicker than water. That's the one right there, man. You know Mary felt some type of way. You understand? Christians always want to use the Lord, but they don't want to be with the Lord. Christians don't want to be with the Lord. You understand? You come to the I.S.U.P.K, you get raised up, become an officer. Your mama got that bad behind arthritis in her knee. You go over there, you touch her leg, and the Lord healed that arthritis. You understand? Guess what she gonna do? She ain't gonna come into the school. She ain't gonna believe it. She gonna believe that you healed her. You understand? You can say, "Oh, that was the Lord." She gonna call her friends. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go call Eloise and them. Hey, Kawal, come and do that thing that you did to Eloise. That thing that how you got that arthritis out my knee. Eloise say her back been hurting for a week. Touch her back, boy. You want to use the Lord, but you don't want to be with the Lord. Right. I don't know there. You know what I'm saying? Christians are terrible, man. Christians are terrible. Right? The point of doing the will of the Most High is to show that you're not against the Most High, man. You can't be on your deathbed and then decide, you know what? I believe in Jesus. You laying bleeding out in the streets, and now I believe that Christ died on the cross for you and for me, and expect to go to heaven. You know what? I always believed in God. It don't work like that. What's that thing that they be saying in the Christian church about how they say who believe in him or something like that? Just confess that Christ is how they say they yeah, there you go. Man, come on, man. Christians believe in heaven and hell, right? That's true, right? They believe in heaven and hell, right? You understand? Has anybody ever seen a drug dealer funeral? You ever been to a drug dealer funeral? You ever seen it on TV? All right. So if like everybody know that the drug dealer was doing what? Unaliving people, selling drugs, catching bodies, sleeping with women and throwing them away, right? Everybody know that, right? You understand? And then do Christians say that they wrong? All the things that Christians say are wrong. You understand? The drug dealer doing, right? But what he had on the program when he passed away, you had a picture of the drug dealer, right? He got the wings. He got the pearly gates behind him. The sun shining down on him. He got the halo, the white suit. You understand? But the stairway to heaven, you understand? But right, you understand? Like, why don't Christians be like, hell no, put the horn and give him a pitchfork? Yeah. Why they don't do that? They believe in the heaven and hell, right? They ain't got a hell to throw you in or a heaven to kick you out of. Christians don't believe in heaven and hell. You understand? Like, that don't make sense. It's a sin to be a drug dealer, though, ain't it? Christians are hypocrites, man. They hypocrites. I can't condemn nobody to hell. So you can see somebody sinning, know that it's a sin, but you ain't gonna tell them, hey, that's a sin. But you condemn the I.S.U.P.K for telling brothers to put down cigarettes, right. To stop selling weed, that if you sleep with that woman, that's your woman. Right. You can't throw her away. You understand? You condemn the I.S.U.P.K for trying to fix black people. But you can see a drug dealer coming to the church and you just pass the collection plate to him first. Right. Christians are hypocrites. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra's, Darash. I'm just trying to figure out why can't Christians say that the drug dealer going to hell? It don't feel right for a Christian to call somebody else an evil, wicked bastard because they evil, wicked bastards. A drunk can't call somebody a drunk. How we both gonna tell each other we drunk? That don't even make sense. Christians know everything that God said not to do, and they do it. Right. Then they'll tell you, judge not. You know what I'm saying? It's way too easy. You understand? It's way too easy to be a sinner and try to live and live prosperous. You know what I'm saying? Sin is a quick, easy way to make money, but it leads to death. It's easy to make an OnlyFans and do a couple of meetups. You know, it's easy to do that. That's easy. Until until the Lord bring the HIV. Now it's a problem. Right now you calling on the Lord. It's hard to do the right thing, the thing that that the Lord said you should do, because the earth made sin seem right. It made the righteous seem bad. You got that, the Second Ezra. We're going to go to 7 and 2. Second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 2.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee.
Right. Who is this talking? It's the angel talking to Ezra, right?
Right, Kawakad.
Right. He said, like, Ezra, get up. Come here, I got something to tell you. Got to talk to you. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I said, Speak on, my God.
Ezra said, go ahead. I'm listening. You understand? Go ahead.
Then said he unto me, The sea is wet in a wide place.
The sea is set in a wide place, right? Everybody done seen the sea. Everybody done been to the beach. You went to the Passover in Florida. You seen the beach. You understand? You just seen the beach from on TV and movies and stuff like that. We all know that the sea is in a wide space, ain't it? It ain't nothing around it. It's like as big as it want to be. You understand? Go ahead.
The sea is set in a wide place that it might be deep and great.
You understand? When the sea was planned out, it was planned out to be in a big area. You understand? Go ahead, Salaya. It was set in a wide place that it might be deep and great. Verse 4.
Verse 4. But put the case, the entrance were narrow.
But let's consider the entrance to the sea. You understand? It says the entrance is what?
The entrance were narrow and like a river.
And like a river. You understand? The entrance into the sea is narrow. Why do you think ships only get so close to land? Because the deep starts to go away and you start to come onto the narrow. And if a ship comes onto the narrow, it can get stuck, right? You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 5. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it?
Right. Who can go into the sea to look upon the sea? Go ahead.
And to rule it.
And to rule it. You understand? That's a question. Who can go into the sea and look upon it and rule it? You understand? Go ahead.
If he went not through the narrow.
If he went not through the narrow. Right? And the only way into the sea is through the narrow. The only way into the kingdom of heaven is through the narrow. You have to go through the straight and narrow path in order to get into the kingdom of heaven. You can't just jump into the kingdom of heaven. It ain't no back door. You have to go through the narrow. You understand? A ship has to go through the narrow in order to get out into the sea. It don't just appear, or they don't just build a ship on the sea. You understand? It has to be dropped into the deep. But it has to go through the narrow first. Go ahead.
How could he come into the broad?
Right. How you going to get into the broad if you don't go through the narrow? Go ahead, brother. Salaki.
Verse 6. There's also another.
You will never understand the truth if you try to see the broad first. You will never understand the truth. You understand? You have to go through that walk, that narrow, in order to understand the truth. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you don't go through, the narrow is full of tests and trials. You're being tried. Go ahead, Salakia.
Verse 6.
He gonna explain it.
There is also another thing.
Mhm.
A city is builded.
Now he give you another example. You understand? More towards what I was just saying. He give you another example. Now imagine this. There's a city, right? Go ahead.
A city is builded.
Now it's a city that's been that done been built, right? And go ahead.
And set upon a broad field.
And that city is set upon a broad field. You understand? So if you go, if you see this city, you understand? You see that this city is a huge city, right? Go ahead.
And is full of all good things.
And it's full. You understand? This city is full of good things. Everything that you need, everything that you could want is in this city that was built in this broad field. Go ahead.
Verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance is what?
The entrance thereof is narrow.
But the entrance into this city is narrow. You understand? So go ahead.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall.
Now, the entrance into this city is narrow. You understand? The angel is telling Ezra, first he used the example of the sea being in a broad place. Now he's saying a city is in an open field, a huge city that got everything that you need. You can make it into this city. You ain't got to worry about nothing else. You understand? You don't have to worry about crime. You don't have to worry about deportation. You don't have to worry about molestation. You don't have to worry about drugs. You don't have to worry about fake Israelite groups. You don't have to worry about religion. You don't have to worry about gout. You know what this city is? This city is the kingdom of heaven. You understand? It says you have to go the narrow. Go ahead. It's like start at the top of verse 7.
Kawakan. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
Right. It's set in a dangerous place to fall. Go ahead.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand.
Right.
And on the left, a deep water.
Right. You understand? This city is set in a very dangerous place. You understand? You have to go through something to get to this city, though. You can't just appear into the city. You have to go through something to be able to reach the city. You understand? So why when people, when it comes to the truth, everybody just think that they just gonna get the broad. You don't want to go through nothing. Christians don't want to go through nothing. Fake Israelite groups don't want to go through nothing. You don't want to be tried. You don't want to be tested by God to see if you deserve to be in the kingdom. You just want the kingdom. You just want to appear in the kingdom. You don't want to do nothing, right? But the Bible is saying this city is a great city with everything that you need. But first, you have to go through this dangerous path. And then and on this path, it's waters on one side and it's fire on the other. So what does that mean you have to do? You have to be focused, man. You have to walk straight. You can't veer off to the left and right. You understand? You have to walk straight. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And the only path, Salaki, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water.
Right. There's only one path, only one way into this city. It ain't no back door. That's what I don't understand about fake Israelites and Christians. They try to make it seem like it's a back door into the kingdom of heaven. It's not a back door into the kingdom of heaven. You're not just gonna, if there's a back door into the kingdom of heaven, you think everybody wouldn't do it? Everybody would do it. You understand? There's no shortcuts to get into the kingdom of heaven, man. You have to go on this path. Go ahead, and it's only one path. So, go ahead.
so small that there could but one man go there at once.
Right. And that path is so small, only one man can go at a time. You understand? And like I know when we first come into the truth, you know, we want to tell everybody about the truth. You understand? We want to tell everybody, right? You tell your friends, you tell your family, you tell all your loved ones about the truth. You understand? But guess what? You can't pick them up and drag them into the truth with you. Only this path, only one can go at a time. You understand? You have to walk this walk by yourself. You can't make them come with you, even though you love them. You can't drag them along with you. They have to do it what? By themselves. Go ahead.
Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Right. Now, imagine this city was given to you as an inheritance. Huh? Imagine it was given to you as an inheritance. You understand? How would you make it to that city? You would have to go through that path, right?
Right.
Because if you don't go through the path, you're never going to get the city. You're never going to get to the city. So your inheritance is just sitting out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't going to be able to get to it if you don't go through the path. Right? If you don't go to the dangers of getting into the city, you'll never value the city, man. And you'll destroy it. You'll destroy it. You understand? You can't get the kingdom of heaven without going through the fire. You understand? Go ahead, Salaki.
Verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Right. He said, this is our portion. Why? Because the Bible says the earth is made for our sakes. You understand? The kingdom of heaven is made for Israel's, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And that's it. You understand? It's only for us. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world.
That's what we just said. Go ahead.
And when Adam transgressed
Adam did what?
And when Adam transgressed my statutes, when was decreed that now is done.
Now what we're saying is because Adam fell, you understand? Now we got to go through hell and pain and everything else because of Adam falling. You understand? Because at one point, well, we'll get there. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow.
Right. When Adam fell, you understand? Because think about how Adam was placed in the garden, right? He had everything. Everything. What did he do? What did he do to get it? You see what I'm saying? He was placed in the broad, right? He was placed in the middle of everything. Didn't have a worry in the world. And then he fell. And because Adam fell, the angel is saying, what happened? Because Adam fell, read verse 12 again.
Then were the entrances of this world made narrow.
The entrances were made narrow when Adam fell. You understand? It's just like a child. If you give your child everything, they'll never learn how to do something to achieve something. They're just going to expect everything to be handed to them. You understand? Adam was placed in the garden, had everything, and he fell. And so God said, you know what? We're going to start trying. You got to go through something to get to this. You got to show me that you want this. Read on.
Full of sorrow and travail.
Right. The angel is explaining now, since Adam had fallen to the sin, that now you have to go through something. God made it harder to get into the kingdom of heaven. You understand? That's what the angel is explaining to Ezra. Read on.
They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful.
That's what we was just saying. You know, you got to go through stuff in order to make it into the kingdom now. You understand? It's going to be pain. It's going to be suffering. You understand? Some days you're going to feel like giving up. Some days you're going to be like, what the hell? I don't want to do this. You understand? But you have to continue to do what? Find ways to fall in love with the truth. You have to. I always say all the time, like, we the ones who messed it up. We the ones that got to fix it. You understand? Christ fixed his mistakes. For those who don't know, Christ was Adam. He fell, and what he did, came back and fixed it. So you mean to tell me that we can't fix it? We here now. We don't have, we just know that you failed. Just know we failed in our past lives. That's why we're here now still fixing it. Why not fix it this time around? I don't want a next time. I don't want to wait till the next time or a time after that. I want to fix it now. I'm tired of being oppressed. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure.
Right. The entrance into the other one, the entrance was wide. You understand? And for sure you could have got there. Right? Go ahead.
And brought immortal fruit.
Right. Adam was placed in a good position and he didn't appreciate it, man. He didn't appreciate it because he didn't have to walk that hard path to get it. You understand? We going through these hard times. You understand? Seeing our brothers and sisters being unalive so that when we finally get it together and reach the kingdom of heaven, we'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate the fact that you don't have to be oppressed anymore. You'll appreciate the fact that you can be able to send your child out and they'll be able to make it home safely because nobody's preying on them. You don't have to see your mother arm get broken by some bastard cop. Sidebar, I seen that on a video today. Hispanic woman don't understand English, having a mental crisis. Cop snatched her out the car, handcuffed one arm, and the evil, wicked bastard broke her other arm to handcuff it. You can hear the crack and snapping of her arm in the video. Those are the things, you understand, that we go through. So why not do it the right way this time? Salaki, go ahead, Darash.
Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things,
Right.
then Salakia, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
Right. If you don't want to go through the hard times to get into the kingdom, you understand? Like these fake Israelite groups, you understand? If you don't want to go through the hard time to get into the kingdom, then what? You ain't gonna get in. You understand? They teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians all manner of sin. All manner of sin. While the I.S.U.P.K teaching our people how to walk a straight and narrow path. Brothers come in here and get off of drugs. Brothers go into Christian church and get on drugs. Become whores. Slide up and down the stripper pole. You're not allowed to be a drug dealer in here. You understand? You're allowed to come in as a drug addict, but you won't stay a drug addict. You will not stay a drug addict in here. You won't stay a stripper in here. You're not going to come in here and try to save all nations. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man?
Go ahead.
And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Verse 6.
Drop down to verse 17.
Verse 17. Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law.
He did what?
Thou hast ordained in thy law
Uh-huh.
that the righteous should inherit these
The
things,
righteous shall inherit these things. You understand? The righteous shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
but that the ungodly should perish.
Right. You understand? The ungodly is going to perish. You understand? You decided that you want to make yourself a priest. Guess what? You are not righteous. You're not. You understand? You can't just decide that you're going to be a priest. You understand? The righteous going to inherit these things. The ungodly is going to perish. You're not in here. Guess what? You are ungodly. You're ungodly if you're outside of these doors. Read on.
Verse 18. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things
Mhm.
and hope for wide.
Go ahead.
For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide.
Ain't that something? Good night. Imagine being an evil and wicked bastard thinking God loves you anyway. Thinking that you still gonna make it into the kingdom of heaven. All I gotta do is repent before I die. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest.
You understand that? Read on.
Verse 20.
Mhm.
For there be many that perish
That be what?
For there be many that perish in this life,
There's many that perish in this life. You understand? Read on.
because they despise the law.
They perish. Why?
Because they despise the law of God.
You understand? You can't. How you gonna live if you despise the law of God? You despise the law when you fire up that blunt. You eat that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You go sleep with that whore. You understand? When you walk into that Christian church, you despise the law of God. There's no life in that. You understand? You will perish. He said, "It's plenty that there's many that perish in this life." You understand? You see people unalive left and right, just out of nowhere. You talk to them today, they gone tomorrow. You understand? Because you live in an evil and wicked life, despising the law of the Most High. You understand? You're not dying because you're doing right. You're dying because you're doing wrong. We used to live long periods of time. You ever seen in the Bible how it's like, oh, he was like 800 and something years, 809 years, or them weird numbers like that? We used to have full-fledged lives. Now you dying at 23 from gout, from AIDS, because you despise the law of the Most High, man. You don't want to listen to the laws of the Most High. Read on, Darash.
Khan, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
For God hath given straight commandment to such as came,
Mm-hmm.
what they should do to live.
Right. God said, if you want to live, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That's a straightforward commandment. Don't eat it. You don't want AIDS? Don't sleep with whores. Don't become a whore. That's a straight commandment. Straightforward. This is what you do if you want to live. I'm telling you now, you want to live, get in the I.S.U.P.K. It's the only way you're going to live. It's the place that it's the only place that life exists. Nothing but death surrounds this place, man. Read on, Darash.
What they should do to live
Mm-hmm.
as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
You understand? To avoid punishment, you understand? You can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. If you know the law, if Christians knew the law, they would know how to live and they would know what's unalive in them. You would know what makes you alive and what makes you dead. Celebrating Christmas makes you dead. It kills you. Celebrating birthdays kill you. You understand? Read on.
Verse 22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
Right. And still, we can go out and tell people how to choose life, give law, statutes, and commandments on how to be alive, and what they do, disobey. They still don't listen. You understand? They still, that ain't God. That ain't God. That's a cult. That's the black KKK. When we never harmed anybody. We help communities. Go ahead.
Salakia, or they say that the UPK, we do rituals.
Right. We do rituals. We cult leaders. We beat our women. It's crazy. It's nonsense. When all we trying to do is show blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to choose life, how to obey and stay alive. Read on.
Verse 22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
Right. You understand? Go ahead. It's like it.
Verse 23. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds.
Right. They say that the Most High ain't real. Right? That's what they be saying. The Most High ain't real. You get that from your oppressor. Your oppressor don't believe in God. You understand? You go in that Christian church, you understand? You that's you following your own ways when you go into that Christian church. They say God ain't real so that they don't have to follow after the Most High. You understand? You decide to have unlawful sex or do drugs, sell drugs, etc. That's you following your own way. Listening to a deceitful heart. That's wicked above all things. We read that earlier. Right? Go ahead. Read that again.
Okay, it's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 23. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not.
Right. That's what I was just saying. They're saying that the Most High ain't real. Read that last little part. Sorry. It's like,
and knew not his ways.
right. You saying the Most High ain't real. You don't know the ways of the Most High. You don't know what the Most High sound like. You understand? You don't know. You say, well, that don't sound right. That don't sound good. They want to hear the good things. They want to hear the evil and wicked things. They want you to continue to tell them, hey, whatever you're doing that's evil and wicked, that's good. That's fine. You can continue to do that. They don't want to hear what God has to say. You understand? One thing I learned about the truth since I've been in the truth is the truth don't feel good. It don't look good. It don't sound good. You understand? It's not popular, but it's the truth. It doesn't have to be popular. It should be popular, but it's not. It's like, go ahead, brother.
That's a heavy point too, because coming into the truth from the world, it's like you just know about what the Christian church talks about heaven.
Right.
And you see that side. So if you stop being a sinner, you get to go to heaven. Then when as a Christian, you think about heaven and the pictures you see about heaven and the illustrations and the words that they teach you. You see white angels flying around, little babies and kids petting lions, and you live forever as an angel. You think like, what the hell? That ain't fun. Right. Why is all these rich white folks and rich Negroes get to live in private jets and yachts and stuff now? But then when you actually read the Bible and come in and be taught the truth, and then you learn how to change your life, you realize the rewards you get for doing it. and it
Mhm.
makes you want to quit smoking cigarettes.
That's right.
Like that thing that you learn about, we're people. You want to be rewarded for something.
Right.
Inheritance and award is coming to you it's contingent upon you obeying the law, though. That's
Right.
what put the battery in my back to actually run into here. That and the fear of dying and not getting anything.
Right.
But Christians lie so much that if they only could hear this truth and shut their mouths for a minute and come to class,
Mhm.
they'll realize what's on the other side of them. Stop being a whore.
That's right.
They get reward for that. It's not in vain. Christ
Right.
didn't die in vain. He's a king.
Mm.
So those type of things, just hearing these classes, and they're so important because the people that listen to these classes, they're going to start realizing that everything they've been taught was a lie, and they're going to help. It's going to help them change their life by hearing this truth,
Right.
and it's going to just make them. It's going to give them the strength that they need to make it to the next day and stop smoking that weed, stop believing in zodiac signs, get out that fraternity and sorority. It
Yeah,
helps
right.
them. This truth helps them, and that's heavy what you're bringing out.
Damn right, man. Get that brother a hand. And all that stuff, like just going back to the heaven part where you see all them little white babies and all that stuff, that to a Christian look good. It don't look wrong. It look right because white people are there.
Right.
You can't imagine a heaven without white people. That's one of Christians' biggest thing about I.S.U.P.K. That's one of the biggest things Christians don't like about the I.S.U.P.K. is that we say is no salvation for white pets. Everything else, they agree with you day in and day out. They will agree. They'll see your point of view on a lot of things, but once you say ain't no love for Esau, nah, it's a big problem. They don't give a damn about the Chinese man or the African man, the East Indian man. If you say white people, oh, that's a problem now. Go ahead, Darash.
Salakia. Or when you start keeping God's commandments, you stop celebrating the holidays, you stop coming around them, you start making a change, and they start seeing that you different now because you ain't being like them.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the problem really starts.
That's what they say. When you first come into the school, you understand, they just be like, oh, he in that coat. He in that coat. He's still the same. He's still smoking. You understand? Because you came in, you was a drug addict. He's still smoking. He over there with a rock right now. You shared yourself with the world and start learning how not to be a drug addict. Oh, you done changed. You don't smoke no more. You don't even come around no more. You don't call your mama on Valentine's Day. You don't bring me flowers. Right. Now you done changed. It started to look what? Wrong. It don't look right no more. You don't blend in with the rest of the earth no more. You stand out now. Read on.
Verse 24. But his law have they despised and denied his covenants.
You despise the scriptures, man. Christians despise the scriptures. You don't love the scripture that say don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? You despise the scripture that says envy thou not the oppressor. You understand? You despise the scripture that say don't celebrate Christmas. You understand? You despise when it says not to follow the ways of the heathen. Christians don't want to follow the Most High. They have to celebrate their birthday. They have to eat pork. You understand? They have to be whores. They have to be what am I going to do if I can't do these things? In reality, Christians just hate God. Fake Israelites just hate God. You understand? I don't know why they just don't come out and say it. I don't know why the IUIC won't just say, we don't love God, we hate God. You understand? We don't have the truth. There you go, I.S.U.P.K. You got us. They have to find a roundabout way to celebrate Halloween or celebrate Christmas. What was the thing that they called their Halloween thing? What was it? Who you ain't know that? Who was that? What was it? Yeah, it was lock in. Yeah, it was some celebration they had. Yeah, it was something. trunk or treat. No, I don't want trunk or treat. It was IUIC. Right. They get everybody together. Big freeway in there spinning around. Read on to us. Like,
In his statutes have they not been faithful
mm-hmm.
and have not performed his works.
Right. Christians don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? They don't. They don't follow after the Most High. Go ahead, Salakia.
Verse 25. And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things.
Right. For the empty are empty things. What does that mean? Yeah, we'll just read the rest of the verse first.
And for the full are the full things.
Right. And for the full are full things. You understand? You put vain things, you put all your love and faith into vain things, guess what? You're going to get nothing out of it. Christians put all their love and faith into vain things, vain ideologies, false gods. And what do they get out of it? Nothing. You understand? So you know what you're going to get in the kingdom of heaven? Nothing. Should you expect something? You ain't doing nothing. He just said that you haven't performed the works. You understand? You haven't been faithful. You put emptiness into emptiness. And you're going to get empty things, right? Not saying it's not wrong to have nice things. You understand? That's not what I'm saying. Don't put the vain thing first. Why you don't come to camp? Oh, I ain't got nobody to watch my kids. They don't have a mother, a grandmother, a grandfather. So you just ain't gonna do the work. For what reason? You just choose not to do the work. Read on to Russ.
Verse 26.
Drop down to verse 42. So like,
Okay. Verse 42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doeth abide.
right,
Therefore have they prayed for the weak.
right. Where we at now, man? Like, this is not where we're gonna get our glory. You understand? This is not where we're gonna get our glory. You understand? The kingdom of heaven, you understand, is where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are gonna get their glory. That's why we don't vote. You understand? Christians vote because they don't want the kingdom of heaven. You vote because you want one more good day in America. That's what you voting for. You voting that this politician gonna do exactly what he say he gonna do. He gonna fix exactly what he say he gonna fix so that you can get one more good day in America. But you never gonna find your glory here. So like, go ahead.
That's heavy what you said, because that, brother, that's heavy. That what you talk about. That's believing that this empire is the only way that you have any type of freedom. You understand?
Right.
That voting is the mindset of thinking like there's somebody that's going to come in and set us free. Somebody gonna see us good black folks and all the good things that we've been doing and give us reparations. Instead of believing the Christ that's in the Bible that's going to come back and slaughter the heathens. You understand?
Right.
You don't want to believe that, because Christians say, "Oh, stay out of that book of Revelations. That book is scary. Yeah, that's doom and gloom.
That's right.
We God is about peace and love. So they stay out of that. And if you stay out of that, it's easier for you to say, let's just stand in line and vote for change.
Right.
We don't want the change that is written about in the prophecies of the Lord's returning.
That's right.
We want the change that come with voting and reparations. You understand? That's us as a nation of people. You understand? That's the entire goddamn globe. Because when we tell the oppressor that, guess what, the Lord is going to come back and y'all are going in the chains. Oh, wait a minute, Officer Zion. Let's just pray. Don't you believe we all can be saved? They don't want the prophecies of the Bible out. They want us to believe in voting, not the prophecies that are in the Bible out. It's a hell of a lot easier, I have done.
Damn right.
Most High Christ sounds like it.
You understand? Most High Christ. What a Christian don't understand is we pray for this kingdom to fall. We pray that it falls, that the Most High open up the internet and them airways. You understand? That this truth can be pushed out so that this place can fall. You understand? That's a bunk, y'all. I'm gonna have to make a part 2. Yeah. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. But with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kodam. We're gonna do a part 2 next week. Tune in. Part 2.
Check. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Operating under the leadership of Commander General YAHANNA. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Purim. You understand? We all know, with the Passover will be right around the corner, man. So make sure you get all your things and your affairs in order, man. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, I imagine. Men of Israel, we're going to run a one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine. Barak, Yahweh, Shimmy, I was Shabbat, Rakatah. Yahweh, Matah, sorry, men to turn. Face the sisters. Sisters, I imagine, men to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to run a one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine. Barak, Yahweh, Shemal, Ataba, Shimmy, I was Yahweh, Matah, class dismissed.